Okay, so today is February 4th, and I showed you last time I got the rabbit line established on this side of the hull. I was debating on what to do with the other side. Well, I decided to go ahead and put the rabbit line on there. And you can see here, I've got it established, stem to stern. And it looks pretty good. And what I did, rather than doing all the measurements up from the base level, I made a little jig with a level on top. This little thing here. And I would just set it on top the keel, on top of the top nail there, because that's right in the center of the line. And then I'd level it, and when it was level, and then I would strike a, which you can see it is here. It's level and it's sitting on both nails. So I was transferring my, I made sure this was absolutely level when I built it. Now the keel's not, of course, it's a little angled up, but I made sure it was level when I built it, and then yeah, just used a little hot glue on this thing, and yeah, it seemed to work all right. I did some measuring from the baseline where I could, and it was coming out pretty close to being perfect, so I think we're okay there. Still not quite sure about up here. This thing is a little different. The original rabbit line was, according to the plans, it should have come out way down here, which isn't unexpected because, like I said, this thing is angled up just a little bit more than it should. So I had to add a little bit down here to get some meat down here to get that rabbit, but it was still awfully low on the, and it didn't look right either. So then I thought, well, maybe I should just put this in the center. And so I started out running a line up here to the center, and I decided now that was going to be too much. I didn't want to throw the plans off that much. So I kind of compromised. I moved it kind of in the middle, between here and here. I put the actual rabbit line here, which looks about right to me. If you look at the line drawings of the plan, looks about right. And then of course when you get the stem on, this makes a pretty aggressive curve then going up here, and I'll wait with drawing that in from the station 2 up to the stem. But this looks pretty good to me. What this means though is station 6, station 6 is pretty close, but station 4 is going to be off. Station 2 was going to have to be handmade for the application here because there's no floor or anything here. But station 4 and maybe station 6, I might have to modify the frames just a little bit. But the rest of them should be spot on, so I don't think that'll be an issue. And then here you can see how these two come out too. They're just right on level. So yeah, that looks good to me, to the untrained, unprofessional eye. It looks like that should work. Nice smooth line. All the way along here. And then it ends right where it's supposed to. So yeah, I think we're in pretty good shape here. We'll have to see how things go when I start planking, but that's a ways down the road yet, so oh, a couple other things too. I got some screws in. I ordered some screws initially, and these are zinc plated rather than hot dip galvanized. And I don't know if this hot dipping is in honesty that much better than just the zinc plate. I mean, I suppose it depends on how much is zinc plated. Then I also ordered some some of these. These are the hot dipped. I should measure these once and see how close these come to being the same. They're both supposed to be number 14s by 3. Yeah, see these hot dipped ones are wider diameter. You know what I'll probably do is use these hot dips under the water line, and then use some of these just regular zinc plated places that are dry and secure but still need good fastening. When I first tried running some tests with these screws, and these were the zinc plated ones, I sheared them off with my driver. Yeah. So I set it down just a little bit lighter to medium. I think what's happening here, these are drilled with a tapered drill bit. So they go in, and that's a countersink as well. It's a taper and a countersink. They go in real well, real easily, of course, until the taper gets filled up. And then they really grab. I think that's what we're seeing there. We're just putting a lot of torque on those. So I thought, well, maybe these are just really, really cheap screws. Well, and that could be, I guess. But I did the same thing with that hot dip galvanized one. Now, albeit it was not at the start of the threads like these were, but it stands to reason because this is the thickest part of the bolt, so it's probably not going to break here. And I think these are what are considered turned. And I thought these were going to be that way too, but I'm sure that these are not turned screws. I'm pretty sure these are, I don't know, stamped out or whatever, or constant shaft diameter, I think, but then these don't look a whole lot different in here either, so I don't know. It's getting hard to find. I didn't even think I was going to be able to find these at first, and I thought I had seen them somewhere, but I did search for an hour on the internet. I couldn't find these hot dip galvanized ones. And then I had a link to them in my materials link, or bookmarks, on my computer, so I had already found them once and forgot about it, and well, I ordered some of these, and yeah, we'll find a place for them somewhere. But I think for below the water line, for sure, we'll use the best ones, the hot dipped. And I also those take a number 3 Phillips, and I had like one number 3 Phillips. And what did I do? Boy, those things must take a lot of force, must really grab once they get into the wood, because it snapped off that tip. So I ordered a pack of higher quality number 3s. This is actually that, what do they call it? Frenzel, something. It's not going to say on here. But this is more of a typical on your bronze screws. That's they have a little bit different tip. It's not a Phillips. It's a little bit different. These will kind of sort of work on some Phillips, but not quite properly either. So anyway, so we got some new tips ordered, number 3 tips ordered. And there's my testing here. You can see the galvanizing. I don't know. It still comes off pretty easily. I don't know. Anyway, we'll see. What else did I get? I got some bolts. Package of bolts, 7-inch bolts. So, yeah, we can get the frames assembled that way.